Welcome to the early adventures of Donnelly Arath, an enlightened spirit warlock that really wants to grow up and be a tank.
Alright, double speed, because it's funny. Alright, so anyway, this is part of the graveyard quests, kind of a standalone. This quest has really given me problems, especially on my cloth, because there are a couple traps on the stairs that they give me. Traps in general always seem to give me problems, especially early. It's a little less so when when I had the resist stuff built up. Anyway, this is my Warlock, Enlightened Spirit spec, pretty heavy in the Enlightened Spirit. I'm not sure what my spec was at this point, but pretty much everything Enlightened Spirit, and the blast. It was before I got my second blast, pretty much as you can see, as long as I keep that up, I'm doing pretty well. I do, with my displacement, get my temporary hit point buff. You can see that come up every once in a while. As long as I keep that up, I don't really have too much of a problem. It's when those drop below, then I've got issues. I know that there are people out there that say you should be able to run without followers, without hirelings, namely without a healer. That's just crazy talk, in my opinion. They're there for a reason, and I've seen those people bring in hirelings as well. So we'll see. This spec left a lot to be desired in number one, my spot, and number two, obviously healing and traps. Okay, so this is where I guess I try to buff up as much as I can to avoid these. One thing that always happens to me is that my healers always die because they run through the stuff and go off and fight things right in the middle of a trap. I wish the AI was a little bit smarter, and they did things, or at least learned how to do things. That'd be pretty cool, so that they can learn your style. Obviously, out of scope of this game, it'll never have an adaptive AI, but that would be cool. Have hirelings that actually learned to play with you, and to heal early in a fight, or to know that you take big damage in certain fights, to be able to kind of judge against that like a human player would. A human healer. I played a healer in World of Warcraft for years, and you got your play style. You knew exactly how to heal certain tanks, and when they were a little more squishy than usual, you compensated for that. So that would be cool if the hirelings did that. It's a lot to ask for, especially in this game, but definitely, the next derivation of these types of games, you could put that in. Now, that being said, and with the bugs that are in this game as it is, this has got an amazing set of rules. Obviously, D&D was a strong set of rules to base the game on. And I love the characterization, the class system, pretty much everything. I do wish that stuff stacked more. For instance, spell damage, or so that you could really beef up your damage in a certain aspect, light damage, for instance, with rings and sword or club or whatever you had, so that you could build up a really strong character. Obviously, that is my World of Warcraft experience showing through. I found that was a lot of fun, but Warcraft didn't have multi-class, which is a huge strength in this game. And frankly, I enjoy the DM concept in these games. It's a lot of fun. It adds kind of a personal touch, and really is reminiscent of pen and paper Dungeons and Dragons. So it's fun. That's why I like this game. There are parts of this game, though, that could be, pretty tedious beyond kind of the farming. The breakables component, kind of a neat idea, but to run through and make sure that you break everything, it's a little tedious. I like the jumping. I like the skills in this game. It's, there's a lot going for this game, even though it's, oh boy, coming up on 20 years or so soon. It's got playability even now. The good games do. So I think there's a lot to be proud of. Unfortunately, I hope that this isn't kind of seeing all of the improvements that it's going to see. I know they're coming out with content. Feywild was just released. I know that's interesting new content, and they've got a lot of writers and developers that are paying attention. But I don't know if major overhauls to the game mechanics are really slated, and how long that would take, or if they're ever going to be done. So anyway, boy, going at double speed, you get kind of dizzy watching this. One thing I'd like to see them take a look at is kind of the responsiveness. A lot of things in this game, you press the button, but there's no reaction. Nothing happens. Whoops, missed that jump. Nothing happens, and you miss a heal or you miss something. I decided to just not even try to get those guys. This is a timed quest, but most people, I don't think anybody really runs out of time. It's that you'd have to be killing things pretty slowly to run out of time on this. It'll give you plenty.
Yeah, you probably saw that little glitch. Sometimes jumping onto a ladder is tough in this game. All right, buffing up for the final fight. Well, almost final fight.
A plaque at the foot of the coffin spells the name. Valak, the door shuts behind you as a decrepit corpse clambers.
So probably on this, I should be moving a little bit more. Part of it is I'm stunned, but also I kind of stand in the blast. Trying to get the ads down first. Nice thing about this AoE is that when the boss follows you, you can go to the ads and be blasting, and you're hitting the boss as well.
As you hold the book, you can feel the power emanating from it. The darkness makes your skin crawl. This book is an implement of pure evil.
Well, I apologize for messing his voice up. I didn't mean to insult his memory. But there you go. That's the run. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, there you have it. I hope it was helpful. And if it was, let me know with a like or a comment below.
Feel free to subscribe. I have other videos of my travels through Eberron and Forgotten Realms here in DDO World. Hope to see you online.